And then, yeah, it can lie any way that you like. You can lie all the way flat with your legs extended. You can have your knees bent. Anything that feels comfortable in your spine is great. And then just finding some place comfortable for your arms and hands to land. You might try out a few different positions so you find the one that feels the best. Great. Well, once you feel fairly settled and comfortable on the earth, I'm just starting to allow the breath to deepen, starting to relax into the floor, maybe allowing the eyes to close if that feels safe today. And if it doesn't, as always, completely okay to keep them open, maybe just softening the gaze. And starting also to mark the transition now, and carving out some space just for this practice. See if we can move away from the thoughts of the day, not yet jump ahead to the thoughts of what's happening after practice, but just holding this little bit of time and space open. And starting now to become aware of your physical body, starting to notice the places of the body in contact with the earth and the places where there's a little space between you and the ground. Starting to take a scan of the body now, starting from the feet and working your way up, and moving gently with a kind eye, just bearing witness to what you find. Maybe there are areas that already feel light and open. Maybe there are some areas that feel a little more closed or congested. Maybe there are some areas that feel gripped or holding tension that maybe you don't need. Perhaps between the eyebrows, around the jaw or the cheeks, the neck or the shoulders, maybe the belly, maybe even the hands or the feet. But seeing if as you perform your scanning, you can send a few extra breaths into any areas that feel like they would need it. Further softening and giving in to the pull of the earth. And taking a moment to connect to your emotional body, your mood this evening. As always, moving gently through this part of the check in. Times like these, there's all sorts of things that might be coming up. But just knowing that whatever does arise is valid. Just trying to see what there is for you today without labeling or judging anything that you find. And checking in with the state of your mind. Maybe there's a lot of activity, thoughts coming and going, or maybe things have started to slow down a little bit, or maybe there's somewhere in between those two. But see if you can start now to notice the thoughts as they enter, acknowledge and track them, but then allow them to slip on their way, trying your best not to hold or grip any one thought for too long. And now starting to bring the attention to your breath, noticing the rhythm, the depth, the cadence, maybe even the temperature. Noticing if the breath feels different in this position on the earth as it does when you're sitting. Noticing where within the body the breath wants to travel and where it might feel harder to send it. Breathing this way on the earth, maybe you notice it's a little easier to send the breath into the diaphragm, to the low part of the belly, and then into the sides of the waist by the rib cage. Perhaps even becoming aware of the breath swirling around to the back body, pressing against the earth. In these last few moments of silence before we begin to move, offering the seed of our practice. This week we've been working with the yogic concept of aparigraha, which is classically translated into non-possessing or non-attachment. We often think of that in relation to material goods or possessions. But taken more broadly, we can see it as non-grasping or non-gripping. And then we could apply it outward, thinking of how many times do we hold on to something that we no longer need or that no longer serves us, or perhaps isn't even our own. And how by grasping so tightly to that, we block access for the things that we do need, the things that would serve us. So working today on seeing if we can release some of our grasping on the mat so that that might help us to release some of our grasping off the mat as well. Starting now to come into awareness once again of the physical body, starting to invite some very gentle movement through your fingers and your toes, maybe just wiggling a little at your edges, maybe allowing the eyes to blink open if they were closed, or just sharpening your gaze towards the ceiling. And then gently on an inhale, start to fold your left knee in towards your chest and reach around the shin with your hands. So you're sort of cradling your left knee into the chest, right leg is still long on the mat. And then gently using your hands to help you, starting to trace some circles around that left hip. As if you had a pencil on your knee and you were drawing circles in the sky. Just keeping the breath smooth and steady. Just exploring the hip joint a little here. And then once you feel pretty solid in one direction, then gently reverse and take it the other way. Again, no strain, no force. Just waking up through the hip socket here. Maybe one or two more times around. And then coming into a little bit of stillness, and then using your hands to help to pull that left knee a little bit farther towards your left shoulder. So coming out at a little bit of a diagonal line here, You may find that you have a little more motion in the hip in this plane. And then trying to see if you can tell your leg to just stay right where it is. On your exhale, gently releasing your hands to the mat, but allowing the leg to stay folded on its own power in that same shape. Great. And then gently on your inhale, allowing that leg to extend long down the mat and find the earth once more. Taking a moment to check in between your two sides, noticing if there's any differences. And then on your inhale, scooping up your right leg, curling it in towards the chest, and then wrapping the hands around the outside of the shin. And then once again, allowing the hands to help you guide that knee around in some circular motions. Just moving at your own speed, keeping the breath smooth and sweet as you go. Just noticing if you're finding any areas that feel really easy to move through, any areas that feel a little stickier. Changing direction of your circling as you're ready. Keeping the pelvis fairly quiet as you go so that the motion's coming just from the hip itself. Maybe one or two more times around. And then on an inhale, gently guiding that right knee now towards your right shoulder. Again, no force, just going where it will go for you. And then same trick. Tell your leg to stay right there. On an exhale, gently release the hands to the mat, holding your leg aloft on its own power, squeezing in through the hip for one more breath. And gently inhaling to take that leg long down the mat. Checking in once again, now seeing if the sides feel any different or maybe more similar now that we've done both. And then this last inhale, curling both knees into the chest, again, wrapping the hands around the outside and maybe taking some rocks from side to side or some more gentle circles, this time allowing the pelvis to move, the lower back to move. And once you feel fairly comfortable, then allowing yourself to gently roll off to one side and then pressing yourself up to sitting and then making your way towards hands and knees on your mat. As always, when we're in this little quadruped position here, the first few breaths are just for you, just taking some time to explore, waking up through the spine, maybe doing some spine waves, maybe doing further circling of the hips or the pelvis, maybe bending one elbow at a time, releasing the shoulder blades, playing with the toes or the feet, or whatever is calling to you. And as always, you have freedom to change anything that I offer to anything that would suit you better as we go. This is your practice, and just the suggestion box. And take one or two more rounds to explore here. And then coming to find a little bit of stillness in the shape. Checking now to see that the hands are just slightly ahead of the shoulders, but the knees are right underneath the hips. And then on your next inhale, sending the hips down towards your heels, allowing the left fingers to start to trace down towards the left toes. And then on your exhale, sweeping that left arm all the way forward towards the top of the mat, a big reach. Inhaling to draw it back towards you, left arm reaches. Exhale, sweep those left fingers all the way across the sky towards the top. And then one more full circle. Inhaling to fold, and then exhaling to radiate out towards the top, and then allowing that left hand to rest on the mat. And then we'll take the second side. Inhaling now, hips back, right fingers reaching towards the right toes. Exhaling to turn the chest and bring that right arm forward. Two more full circles. Inhaling back Exhaling to pour your way towards the top of the mat. Now, one more time. Inhaling to sink. Exhaling to expand forward. And then allowing the right hand to rest on the mat. Readjusting the placement of the hands if you need to. Gripping the mat with your fingers, creating a little suction cup feeling at the hands. And then we'll inhale to take the left leg long and straight behind you. Holding smooth, steady breath here for a moment as we arrive. Little lift in the belly, level pelvis. Push the hands into the mat to slide the shoulder blades apart. That looks great. Then on the exhale, starting to bend the left knee and bring that left knee somewhere towards your left arm. It doesn't have to touch, you're just going somewhere close. If it touches, great. If not, that's great too. And then inhaling that leg long behind you once again. We'll take that 2 more times. On the exhale, curling that left knee towards your left arm. And then inhaling to take it straight behind you. Last time, inhaling to take it towards your arm. And then stay here for a full breath wherever you are. Yes, beautiful. Using the belly. And then inhaling it straight back behind you. Just a breath to let it air out. And then exhale that knee back to the mat. And then we'll take the second side. Inhaling that right leg long behind you. You'll take these first few moments to settle here. Tipping the right hip down a little so the pelvis is level. A little attention to the low belly. Once again, pressing the hands into the mat to separate the shoulder blades. Yeah. Great. And then on the exhale, this time, taking the right knee somewhere towards your right arm. Again, it doesn't have to touch, you're just coming somewhere close. Great. Inhaling to take that leg long behind you. And then twice more. Exhaling to draw that right knee up and in towards your right arm. And then inhale, leg long behind you. Last time we'll take that little hold. Exhaling to curl in towards your arm. And then stay wherever you've landed. One full breath. That's it. Great. And then inhale that leg long behind you. Just a breath. And then exhale to place the right knee on the earth. Okay. Inhaling to take the left leg long behind you once again. And this time on the exhale, stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand. The foot can stay pretty wide, but making sure that the toes are straight ahead. Lighten up on your fingertips so that on your inhale, you can take both arms up to the sky, coming into your low lunge. Taking a full breath here to settle in. And then we'll start to take some backward arm circles, keeping the spine tall to start with and pulling in through the belly. And then on the inhale, arms sweep back around behind you towards the back of the room. And then on the exhale, connect to the belly to send the arms straight back up to the sky. Yes, twice more, just like that. Inhale to open out, circling around. Exhale, strong belly, hands reach to the sky. Last time, inhale out and around. Nice. Exhale, hands come all the way back to the sky. Inhale for a moment here. And then exhale to take both hands back down to the mat on the inside of that front foot. You can choose to stay with planted hands here, or you can come up on your tented fingers if you need a little bit more space, or even blocks if you need more space. Wherever you are, looking forward. And then on the inhale, lift that right knee off the earth. So coming into that lizard variation of your runner's lunge. Yes, really nice. This first one will hold for a breath here, opening out through the right calf, feeling the strength in the hands and the left hip holding you up. And then gently allowing the right knee to find the earth on the exhale, swimming the arms up to the sky on the inhale. Come back to your low lunge. Yes, we'll flow like that for a couple rounds. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands down to the mat on the inside of that foot. Look forward. Inhale to take the right knee off the earth. Hold for a beat. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale to take the arms up, low lunge. Yes, one more full round. Inhale here. Exhale, hands find the mat. Look forward. Inhale to lift the right knee off the earth. Smooth, steady breath. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, arms lift. Last time in your low lunge on this side. This time on the exhale, hands come down to the mat, and then you stay right here. Pressing the hand into the earth so that on the inhale, you can sweep that left leg back long behind you, just a breath. And then exhale the left knee to the earth. And then we'll take that inhale to send the right leg long behind you. And then exhale to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Again, you can take a wide stance, but right toes facing the top of the mat. Light up on the fingertips. So then on your inhale, you can swim all the way up to your low lunge on the second side. In a moment, we'll take those 3 arm circles. This time, if the spine feels ready, you can allow the spine to come with you, or you can keep it still as you did before. Either way, on the inhale, starting to sweep the arms back, maybe allowing the spine to come towards the back bend, sweeping the arms down towards the floor, and then exhale through the belly, arms left. Great, twice more just like that. Inhaling to come out and around. Exhale, strong belly, that's it. Reach all the way up. Last time, inhaling out and around. Exhaling, connect to the belly, send the arms high. Good. This time on the exhale, hands come back down to the earth on either side of that front foot. Once again, using your option, pressing the hands into the earth, using the tented fingertips or your blocks. Either way is okay. Might be different side to side. Wherever you've landed, looking forward, and then on the inhale, lift that left knee off the earth. So you're in your runner's lunge on the other side. Yes, really good. Breathing smooth and steady here. Feeling the stretch through the left calf. Holding that right hip really steady. And gently release the left knee to the earth on the exhale. And swim the arms up to the sky on the inhale. And we'll take a few rounds of that flowing rhythm. So we'll inhale to reach. Exhale to place the hands on the earth. Look forward. Inhale, lift the left knee. Just holding for a beat. Exhale, left knee comes down. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Beautiful. Last full round. Inhale to reach. Exhale to take the hands to the mat. Look forward. Inhale to lift the left knee. Smooth exhale takes that left knee back down. And then inhale your way back up. Last time in your low lunge here. This time exhaling, hands find the earth. And we stay right here. Allowing the hands to press into the mat so that you can sweep your right leg long behind you on the inhale. And then exhale that right knee to the earth. Great. Then we'll walk the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Create that little kickstand with your toes. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale, push into the floor to lift your knees off the earth just a couple of inches. We're in our favorite hovering tabletop. Even here, while you're working so hard, can you find places to ungrip, unclench? Belly is strong without over gripping. Then gently on the exhale, allowing the hips to find the sky, coming into your downward facing dog. As always, this first down dog is just for you. So taking a moment, pedaling out the feet, And even rock the hips from side to side. Just checking in with the distance between your hands, distance between your feet. Maybe 1 or 2 more rounds to play here. Very nice. And calming towards some stillness in the shape. Knees can stay as bent as you like. That looks really nice. Great. And then from here, we'll come rippling forward towards our plank. So we'll come high up on the toes on the inhale, scoop in through the belly, taking your whole smooth inhale, vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way forward towards your full high plank. Shoulders over the wrists, little lift in the belly. And then gently allow both knees to find the earth. Untuck the toes. Scoop your hips forward so you're in your half plank. Yes, beautiful. You got it. I'm going to take those little arm dips. So on the inhale, bending the elbows straight back, coming down maybe halfway. Exhaling to return to your full half plank. And then one more time, push the earth away even as you bend the elbows. And then exhaling, come all the way back up. This time on the inhale, take the hips back over the knees. And then on the exhale, send the hips back to the sky, coming back to your downward facing dog. One last piece here before we stand up. On the inhale, releasing your left foot from the earth. It can stay low, it can come high, but you'll start to take that little free movement again at your left hip, this time playing with that foot off the floor. It can take any shape you like. We're taking a few rounds of experimenting here. Very nice. Just seeing how that hip feels different when it's in the air versus when it was on the earth. Yeah, maybe one more breath there. And then exhaling the left foot to the earth. And then inhaling to free the right leg. Taking any movements that right hip would like to make. Drawing as if we could attach markers to your foot and your knee. What shapes would you create in the air? Very nice. Now maybe one hip feels different than the other. That's just fine. Normal, in fact. And then as you're ready, releasing both feet to the earth. And then this time on the inhale, bending the knees and looking forward, and then taking a little walk to the top of the mat. Getting firm purchase with your feet, bending the knees as much as you like. And then on the inhale, sweeping the arms out and up towards the sky, and then exhaling, hands to your heart. Yeah. And then from here, you'll take a big step back with your left foot, coming into your high lunge legs with the right foot in the front and the left foot in the back. And taking a moment to take that right foot a little bit closer to the right edge of the mat. You're taking a little wider stance today. Yeah. Once you feel steady in the legs, on the inhale, reaching both arms up to the sky, coming back into your full high lunge here. Great. And then as you feel ready, we'll take just one backward arm circle. So on the inhale, arms reach out and around. And then on the exhale, connect to the belly, reach the arms back up to the sky. Yes. And then from here on the next exhale, hinging forward over that right hip, reaching the arms forward across the room. And then gently allowing the hands to come to rest on the mat on the inside of that right foot. Again, you have your options: flat palms, tented fingers, or blocks, depending on what you like. On the inhale, bend into that right knee a little bit more, look out towards the edge of the mat. And then on the exhale, scissor the legs together, lift the hips towards the sky, look back towards your back leg, right knee straightening any amount. It doesn't have to go all the way straight. And then inhale to ripple forward, rebending into the right knee, looking out towards the edge of the mat. Yes, very nice. And then exhale, scoop into the belly, hips lift, look back towards that back leg. Last time forward, inhale to ripple it out, almost like you're trying to split the mat with your feet. And then on the exhale, almost like you're bringing the feet together as the hips lift and you look back towards your left leg. We'll stay here for a moment this time, pulling the right hip back a little and the left hip forward a little. Breathing smooth and steady into that leg. Yes, very nice. One more round of breath here. And then inhale just to bend into that right leg, enough to come back towards your high lunge leg shape. Come lighter on your fingertips. And then inhale your arms and torso back up towards the sky, coming into your high lunge. Yes, very nice there. From here, exhaling to fold the hands at your heart. Start to straighten through that front leg. And then we're going to start to transition to the other side. So on the inhale, turning to turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of the mat. And then continue on going, spinning the left toes towards the left of the mat. And then coming up onto the ball of that right foot, walking the left foot a little bit wide, bending into the left knee. So you're in your high lunge legs, now towards the back of the mat. From here, as you feel ready, inhaling both arms up to the sky, coming into your full high lunge towards the back of the mat. One arm circle, inhaling the arms out and around, using the belly to help you as you reach back up towards the sky. Then on your exhale, reaching forward, hinging at that left hip, arms reaching towards the back of the mat. And then gently allowing the hands to find the earth on the inside of that left foot. You'll do the same adjustment here with your hands, either staying on your tented fingers, flat palms, or your blocks. Either way, starting to bend a little bit further into that left knee as you look out towards the back of the mat. And then exhale to cinch the legs together as you lift the hips, look towards your back knee. That's great. And then inhale, rippling forward, rebending that left knee as you look out. Exhale to pull the feet towards one another as you look back. Left knee straightens any amount. One more time forward. On the inhale, rippling out, bend into that left knee. And then exhale, pull the feet towards each other, hips lift. And we'll stay right here for a moment, this time tipping the left hip back and the right hip forward. Yep. Smooth, steady breath here. And gently rebending the left knee to come back towards your high lunge legs. Come light on your fingers. And then gently inhale, both arms up to the sky, coming back to your full high lunge. And then pulling the hands together at your heart on the exhale. And then this time, we're going to transition a little differently. You're going to inhale to pull your left hand towards your left shoulder, and exhale to press your right hand forward as if you were pushing a door closed ahead of you. So your left leg in front and the right arm in front. Left hand is by your left shoulder. Then we're going to start to make our way back towards high lunge at the front of the mat. So on your exhale, bringing the hands together at your heart, straightening through your right leg, turning all 10 toes to face the long edge of the mat. And then continue your transition. Right toes start to face forward, landing up onto the left toes. And then as you bend into that right knee, pulling the right hand towards your shoulder, left hand presses forward. We have opposite arm and leg. And then we'll take that a little bit quicker now. So we'll inhale here. Exhale to pull into the middle, straightening the leg, arm comes together, start to turn towards the back of the mat. As you come into your high lunge legs, right arm presses forward, left hand finds your left shoulder. One more full time around. Inhale here. Exhale to pull towards the middle, moving the toes as you go. As you start to settle towards your high lunge, press that left hand forward. Right hand comes towards the right shoulder. Yes, very nice. And then from here, both hands come together at your heart. Hinge forward over that right hip so that you can step your left foot to the top of the mat. Gorgeous control there. That looked really good. From here, swimming the arms out and around on the inhale. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Hinge at your hips, bringing the hands towards the mat. Taking care to press the hands into the earth, bending the knees as much as you need to get firm purchase with the hands. So then we'll take one foot and then the other foot back to the back of the mat, coming into your downward facing dog. Yes. From here, coming rippling forward to plank, high up on the toes on the inhale, coiling in through the low belly, low spine, middle spine, upper spine. Head and eyes come out last. You're in your full high plank. Yes, gorgeous. Holding here for one more full breath. And gently releasing the knees to the earth. Untuck the toes. Scoop the hips forward, half plank. And then we take those same little dips, bending on the inhale to take the elbows back. Exhaling to push the elbows straight. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale to bend the elbows as little or as much as you like. Exhale to push the elbows straight. And then on the inhale, send the hips back over top of the knees. Kickstand the toes. And then exhale, hips return to the sky, coming back to your downward facing dog. Two options this time. One, you can have that same moment of freedom that we had earlier, or starting to bring the left leg up on the inhale, a little or a lot. On the exhale, bending that left knee, coiling that left leg, starting to come towards your plank with that leg lifted. Left knee moving somewhere towards your left arm. Big inhale to push back, lift the left leg to the sky. And then exhale the left foot towards the earth. We'll talk you through the other side. Inhale to release the right leg from the earth, maybe a little, maybe a lot. Exhale, bend the right knee. Start to coil forward. Right knee approaching your right arm. Yes, really nice. That's great. And then big inhale to send you back. Right leg reaches towards the sky. And then exhale, right leg to the earth. That was gorgeous. Very nice. And then from here, inhale to bend the knees, look forward, and walk back to the top of the mat. Inhaling to swim the arms out and up as you stand, and exhale, hands to your heart. Just for a moment here, maybe allowing the eyes to close or just soften your gaze. But come back into that idea of releasing our grasping. So noticing if during the practice so far, there's been any ideas or expectations or pushing that are maybe outside of what you need. It's of course okay to strive for something, as long as it's really what was going to serve us and not something that's getting in the way. So I'm going to work through another good for your brain flow in a moment. But just seeing if you can go into it with a sense of play. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's okay. But here we go. Opening the eyes if they're closed, or just sharpening your gaze. And then as you feel ready, stepping that left foot back once again towards the back of the mat. Coming into your high lunge legs. You can take your normal width this time. And as you feel steady in the legs, inhaling the arms up to the sky, coming into the full position here. And this time on the exhale, opening out so that you come into your warrior two, coming into that side lunge position. And taking a moment just to get centered here, checking to see that that right knee is right over the right ankle, right toes are facing straight ahead. Left toes are turned in at a little bit of an angle. Left knee strong and straight. Lots of weight through that outer edge of the left foot. Little attention in the low belly. Smooth, steady breath here. One more round. And then this time on the inhale, you'll bend your right elbow, bringing your right hand towards your sternum. And we've been here once before. We're going to try it again. We're going to start to transition here towards high lunge at the back of the mat. So on your exhale, straightening through that right leg, bringing both hands together towards the chest, turning the toes just as we did before. Left toes now facing the back of the mat, rolling up onto the ball of the right foot. And as you exhale, bending that left knee and pushing that right hand forward. So we're in that little closing the door position we were in before. Smooth, steady breath for a moment here. Just make sure you've landed, left hand near the left shoulder. And then coming back the way we came, back to that warrior two variation. On the exhale, straightening through the left leg. Hands come through center. Left toes turn in, right toes turn out. This time facing the long edge of the mat. As you exhale, right knee bends, right elbow bends. Yes, left fingers reach to the back of the mat. You got it, that's it. And we'll take that a little quicker now between those two positions. So we'll exhale to change through the middle, turning the feet, coming towards that high lunge towards the back of the mat. As you settle in, right hand presses forward, left hand reaches your left shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale to pull up through the center, legs come straight. Right toes now face forward, left face in. Bending to come back into that warrior two with the right elbow bent. Gorgeous, you got it. One more time to the back of the mat. Exhaling through the middle, really use your belly here. Turning towards those high lunge legs, back of the mat. Exhaling into the pose with that right arm forward, left arm back. Hold for a moment here. This time, exhale both hands to the heart. And then simply just anchor down through that right heel. Adjust the feet a little so that you're coming into your warrior two legs now towards the back of the mat. Wasn't that fancy? So you have your left knee bent, your right leg straight. As you feel ready, opening both arms out, coming into the full warrior two pose here towards the back. Taking a moment to really settle into the shape before we move. Lots of weight through that outer right edge of the foot. Little attention in the low belly. Shoulder blades active, but neck on vacation. One more breath. And then this time, exhaling to bend through the left elbow, left hand now coming towards the sternum. Great. So we're taking that same transition, but now we're going to end up in high lunge towards the front of the mat. So we'll do it on the exhale, scooping up through the midline, hands come together, toes start to turn. Right toes now face front, come up onto the ball of the left foot. As you release into the right knee bend, push that left arm forward. Right hand coming towards the right shoulder. That's it. And then back we go. Exhaling to squeeze through the middle. Really use the belly as you start to turn the left toes out, right toes in. Bending into that warrior two towards the back of the mat. Left elbow bent, right arm reaching. Torso facing towards that side wall. Yes, there you are. Perfect. Moving smooth and steady here. Then coming back to the front. Squeezing through the middle. Turning the toes. Hands come together at first. Releasing into that high lunge. As the right knee bends, the left arm starts to come forward. Right hand towards the shoulder, yes. One more full time around. Exhaling to squeeze the middle. Start to change the feet. Left toes face out, right toes face in. Exhale to come into those warrior two legs. Left elbow bent, right arm reaching, yes. And then one more time back to the front. Scooping in on the exhale, gathering in. Then as you turn to face the front, bending into the left knee, right knee, pushing the left hand forward. So it gets me too. Good for your brain. And then from here, hands just simply fold at your heart. And then you'll hinge forward over that right hip. So you can gently step the left foot to the top of the mat. Yes. One last piece here. Inhaling to swim the arms out and up. Exhaling to fold at your hips, bringing the hands towards the earth. Once again, bending the knees as much as you need to. Firm purchase on the mat with your hands. And then gently step your way back, downward facing dog. One ripple to plank, last one. High up on the toes, coiling in, smooth, steady breath. Each piece moving at its own pace. Head and eyes coming out last. Holding for a breath here. Gently releasing the knees to the earth. Untuck the toes, scoop the hips forward, half plank. Last time here. Bending the elbows on the inhale, as much or as little as you like. Beautiful. Exhaling lifts you back up. Great. And then one more time. Inhaling to bend down. Exhale back up. This time on the inhale, just walk the hands back, sit the hips on the heels. So you can watch one time here. So we're going to take a little more of an option. We're going to work the stepping forward. We're going to come towards the side. So it'll look like this. Two options. One, if you're doing hands flat on the mat, you'll come back to your down dog. We'll inhale the left leg up. Again, it doesn't have to go as high. From here, it's fine. Exhale to coil in, starting to come towards that plank variation. Left knee coming wide. A lot of control here. Stepping that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Yeah. Then we'll gather the strength. We'll come up to the high lunge for just a moment, just to arrive. And then we're going to go back the way we came in. Hands are going to return to the mat. Press the hands into the mat. Lift the left foot. And then push all the way up and back. Yeah. You could also choose to do that, as we did one time before, with your hands on the blocks. It may make it easier to clear your hip, but you choose. Your hip's pretty warmed up right now, so you choose your option. As you're ready, come into your downward dog. I'll talk you through. Beautiful, great. And then you'll inhale to lift that left leg into the air as much as you feel comfortable. Good. And then on the exhale, use your belly, start to coil that leg in, drawing it towards your left elbow, and then gently step the left foot towards your hand. Yeah, there you go. Good. Gather up your strength, and then inhale your way. Come all the way up to your high lunge. Just for a breath to know that you made it. And then exhale back down. Hands come back to the inside of that front leg. And then really push firmly into the hands. Use your inhale to lift that left foot. Yep. And then send it all the way up to the sky. Yes. There you go. Beautiful. Exhale that foot to the earth. Okay. Going right into side two. You'll inhale to lift your right leg. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Yep. And then exhale, really coil. That same action we've been working in the plank. Reaching that right knee towards the elbow first, and then gently stepping the foot down. Good. And then gather the strength in the belly. Lift all the way up into your high lunge just for a moment. Great. And then exhale, hands back to the mat on the inside of that right leg. And then press into the earth. Lift that foot on the inhale. Yep, use the belly and then inhale again all the way up. Lift that leg, stretch it out. Great. Exhale, foot to the floor. Beautiful. And then gently release both knees to the earth. Slide the toes together and the knees apart. And then sit your hips back towards your heels. Arms reach forward, head releases towards the earth. Yeah, coming into your child. If this feels comfortable on your shoulders, stay here. If you'd like, you can also reach the hands back towards your feet. Whatever you choose, slowing down the breath, slowing down the mind, recognizing your efforts, appreciating what your body can do without expectation. Steady breath rhythm. 1 or 2 more rounds here. Gently crawl your way back up towards your hands and knees. And then take both feet to one side and the hips to the other so that you could come to sitting. Then pull the legs out in front, making this butterfly shape. The feet together, knees out wide. Yeah. And you look pretty tall there. You can always sit up on something if you need, but this looks pretty good there if you're comfortable. So use your inhale to pull your chest forward a little bit. So you can use your hands on your legs to help you. And then on your exhale, take it forward, hinging at your hips. Spine stays really long, almost like you're trying to get your nose past your feet. And then once you feel like you're really out of room in the hips and the low spine, then you can allow the head and the shoulders to start to relax. Head can start to come towards the earth. That way there's a gentle curve there, but it's more distributed. Slowing down the breath even more. Seeing if you can feel the breath traveling around to the lower spine, lower ribs. Sometimes it's easier to feel that when we're in the forward fold. Gently using your inhale to inflate, come back all the way up to tall sitting. Yes. Taking your hands on either side of your knees and using your hands to fold your knees together like a book, and then stretch the legs out long. Maybe shake them out a little bit. And then check to make sure you have some space behind you. If not, you can scoot up a little bit. Yeah. And then keeping the knees pretty straight, we'll inhale the arms straight forward, parallel to the earth. And then we'll use that reverse curl, so tucking in through the belly, starting to roll down one vertebra at a time towards the earth. If it ever feels like that's too much, you can always bend the knees, that's fine. Taking your way all the way down, great. Once you've arrived on the earth, inhale the arms overhead. A big yawning stretch, maybe even pointing the toes, creating as much space as you can between your fingers and your feet. Feeling the breath expand the torso outward through the rib cage. And gently exhale your hands down to the mat. And then bending one knee at a time so that your feet can come flat. And then take the feet pretty wide, almost as wide as the mat. And then starting to windshield wiper the legs, both knees to the left, and then both knees to the right. It doesn't have to be fast or large. You take it what your body would like. A few more times here. And then the next time that the knees are headed to the left, allow gravity to win a little bit. taking the knees all the way over to the left as much as they want to. And then adjusting your arms if you like. You could have them palms up in a little V. You could bring them wide like a T, or maybe bend into a cactus shape. Whatever feels nicest for you and allows the head of the arm bone to rest comfortably on the earth. Maybe now adding your head, you can look out over to the right, only if that feels open on your neck. A few more breaths here. And gently on the inhale, returning the nose and the knees to face the ceiling. And then on the exhale, allowing gravity to take the legs over to the right, maybe turning the head to the left, but check in with your neck again on this side. It might be different. Smooth, steady breath rhythm here. And then inhale, nose and knees back up towards the ceiling. And then last little piece, just as we did in the beginning of practice, inhaling to take both knees in towards your chest, and then wrapping your knees around, your hands around rather, and then rock from side to side, or maybe make circles or spirals. Just noticing if anything feels different back there than it did in the beginning of practice. There's no right answer, by the way. If you're making some kind of circular motion, change directions just so that you're even. And gently floating the feet down towards the mat. And then heading into a few moments of rest here. So you could choose to keep the knees bent. Just take the feet wide and tap the knees together. Or you can extend the legs long down the mat. Once again, finding someplace comfortable for your arms, whatever that would mean for you is just fine. And then just releasing any conscious control over the breath, any last gripping anywhere in the body, dissolving your way towards the earth. And I'll leave us with a few moments of quiet rest here, and then I'll call you back. And gently inhaling the breath back into the body. Starting to invite some gentle movement at your edges, wiggling fingers and toes, gradually making those movements larger, closer to your center, eventually bending one knee and then the other, and then rolling onto one side. No rush. Pausing on your side for a moment when you're there, letting all of your systems catch back up to you. And then, as you feel ready, gently pushing your way back up to your comfortable seat, maybe still with the eyes closed or a soft gaze, allowing the attention to be internal for a few more moments. And finding someplace comfortable for your hands to land, maybe in your lap, maybe folded at your chest, maybe one hand on your heart, the other on top, or something else you choose. But taking these last few breaths to realize that if we can recognize when we are in that process of grasping or gripping, that's the first step to being able to let go and release. If we're able to let go of those things that don't serve us, we can make room for things that will. As always, I thank you so deeply for coming and sharing practice with me this evening. I wish you a lovely Earth Day and the rest of the evening. Namaste.